Hello and welcome to the latest Nomura podcast. My name is Andy Chater, fixed income product manager here at Nomura. Today we're going to be talking about oil prices, the recent rise, and in particular what they mean for emerging markets. I'm delighted to be joined by Rob Subbaraman, head of EM economics here at Nomura, who's going to help us discuss this topic. First question, I guess, Rob, before we get into the impacts is, what do you think is driving the oil price rise at the moment?
It's a tough one, Andy. There's many moving parts. I mean, I would say, firstly, it is a big rise from a low of $44 in June to around $63 now. That's around 43%. I think initially the synchronized global growth upswing and limits on supply, such as the OPEC cartel stringently sticking to production quotas, played a role. But I think more recently the rise through $60 has more to do with concerns over the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. I think we need to watch US shale producers to see if they start increasing production. And also the OPEC meeting at the end of this month, I think, is going to be very interesting to see if they stick to their quotas. But I'd say overall, Andy, the key risk is the Middle East. And remember, if oil prices rise for non-demand reasons, it's more negative for the net oil importers, particularly in Asia.
And how important are these oil price moves for emerging markets?
They're hugely important. I think oil price moves tend to affect EM more than DM. And just like the oil price drop we saw in 2014, 2015, it has an asymmetric impact on EM. It drives divergence in the EM space. That's partly because EM is home to many of the biggest net oil exporters and net oil importers. So the effect, if you think about the net oil exporters, many in LATAM, they benefit because they get reduced budget deficits, reduced current account deficits, higher growth, capital inflows, and a limited effect on inflation. The net oil importers, many in Asia, the effects are opposite, and the impact on inflation can be exacerbated if we see the currencies weaken.
So given those kind of different impacts on different parts of the emerging market space, who would you pull out as the biggest winners and losers in emerging markets if oil prices do keep rising?
Sure. So that was the whole goal of this anchor report we did, where we looked at 28 emerging market economies. We looked at their kind of initial starting positions, that is, how strong are their economic fundamentals, and also the room that they had for kind of policy responses. And our conclusions are that if oil prices kind of keep rising from here, the clear-cut winners are Malaysia in Asia, Colombia in LATAM, and then in EMEA we'd put Nigeria, Russia, and Saudi Arabia. They're the winners, but I would say looking at the other side of the spectrum, the clear-cut losers would be three countries: India and the Philippines in Asia, and Turkey in EMEA.
Perfect. Thank you very much indeed, Rob Subbaraman, head of EM economics at Nomura. Thank you very much, all of you, for listening, and we look forward to you joining us again for the next Nomura podcast. Bye.